It was early.
Yeah, you fucked that up.
Sorry.
You did so much planning, too.
God damn it.
It's okay. I have more.
Oh, there's more where that came from. Gotcha.
Excellent.
Robin, who are you playing?
I'm playing Zezia. She's just drunk and horny all the time.
Oh, shit.
Kyrene's playing Kyrene?
Yep. Yes. Just looked up my mouse. God damn it.
Chris is playing Little John?
No, I'm going to switch it up because I want the Chivo. So today I'm actually going to play an actual dog named Dog.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I am Dog.
Is that with an O or an AW?
With an O. Only the best, Brian. I give you only the best.
And next up, I see we have Slot. Is that Slot Von Zarovich? Yep. Okay.
That's not who I'm playing, though, since you never answered.
Oh, okay. So who are you playing?
Gosh, Dad.
I'm playing Spheniscus.
Fucking course you are.
He's the penguin Kenku druid.
I love him.
Spheniscus?
Spheniscus. You can call him Sven if you want.
I don't.
Sven.
Sven.
I'm gonna spell that Kiss. Aubrey?
Who else but Hazelnut?
Hazelnut.
I love Hazelnut so much.
Hazelnut's amazing.
Yee.
How many druids do we have today?
I'm not one.
I'm a monk.
I'm a dog, so no.
The best character.
Where
Are you gonna
normally
bark and pan. Sorry.
where normally we treat this as a one-shot, we are right in the middle of a 3-parter, which is kind of a 4-parter, but I started at 0, so it's only going up to 3. When we last joined our terrible people, they were trying to rescue an elephant.
Terrible.
Well, you know, sometimes you are
Sir.
kind of terrible, though.
Dad.
What?
God damn it, Dad.
Where's my good picture?
Why
Where's
you gotta
my good
embarrass
dad?
us?
You were taking Hobart Hornblower. He'd been bitten by a vampire, so you assumed, and you're taking him to Todd Von Zarovich in Bavaria at Castle Raven Roost. The last thing that you did before we ended the last adventure was knock on the door, and it opened, and Todd said, "Greetings," or some such. "I am Todd Von Zarovich." He stands before you, a wee little man, probably about the size of, maybe 4'8". What do you guys want to do?
Dog strolls over and begins sniffing him. How does he smell?
He smells like emptiness and depression.
Dog glances back at Party, just nods slightly, and then sits down at Todd's side.
He's standing in the doorway, but you can sit down at his side if you want to.
Oh, then obnoxiously in front of him.
I was informed that you would be here, but I didn't quite... You had a problem, but I didn't quite catch what it was.
Bork.
Our friend here, he possibly got bitten by a vampire.
Can you fix him?
Please.
Real quick, Chris, when you say that you're playing a dog named Dog...
No. Well, I mean, yes. It's a dog.
But it's just you're just playing a dog.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
a dog without a name. So
Gotcha.
just refer to dog as dog.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
What happened to this Loxodon?
I told you, I think he got bitten by a vampire.
I see. We'd
We
best
took him to somebody in town, but oh, sorry, my lord. Sorry, sir.
make haste.
Fucking Batman gets me every time. I never expected. I always forget.
We'd best hurry. I don't know how much time we have. Bring him in here. Bring him in here.
He walks down the long corridor and then takes a left down one of the wings.
I follow.
Dog follows eagerly.
Yeah.
I waddle
So
behind.
does
I follow, but cautiously. I don't really trust him.
I can't
And I
remember.
guess we're bringing our friend.
Yeah, I can't remember how you were bringing him along.
He was in a cart.
I think at one point we had like a Warforged carrying him or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Dog will go back and grab him by the collar and drag him along.
Oh God.
A strong dog.
Oh, it's a very slow drag.
He
good
he,
boy.
Work.
he leads you down this second corridor and then he turns right and you go into this. He unlocks a door with a big old giant like metal key and swings it open and you see a bedroom with a canopy bed inside and it's pretty. Everything here is ornate and decorative and this bedroom looks like it's not super dusty. It looks like it's been pretty well maintained. It looks like it's frequented some, from time to time. And he instructs you to lay him on the bed.
Okay, so dog drags him over to the bed, lets him go, and then hops onto the bed and lays down.
Aw.
He says,
Are any of you hungry? I have food prepared.
Dog's eyes go wide.
Can I do an insight check?
okay.
It's a 5.
What were you trying to incite?
See if he has any malicious ideas against us.
Like nothing that he does, or his gestures, or his presence, or anything is ominous in any way. And it might be because of his height, but and his voice.
I also rolled a 5, so.
And it might be because of your 5. So he's going to walk out and says,
I have somebody who can help us with this, and he is over in the banquet room, so we'll be heading there anyway if any of you are hungry.
I can use a snack.
Depends. Maybe. I don't know.
I think that you guys just ate lunch and somebody just got a bunch of Bavarian cream or something.
Did we also get a whole bunch of cocaine?
Yeah. Good cocaine.
The good.
Good.
Cocaine.
What?
That good.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, that. So he goes back. He goes back down the hallway towards the entrance again, and then he goes down the first corridor you'd went in when you opened the front door. And deeper into this castle, he makes a right, and swings open these double doors to this grand banquet room with this long table, and you guys can see all manner of buns and anybody who knows anything about Strahd knows I had to do this. I couldn't let this go. So all number of buns and lettuce and tomatoes and cheese and pickles and hamburgers.
This is all available to you, prepared by the one and only Burger Master.
What's a burger?
Oh, fuck you, Brian. God damn it, Brian.
And at the end of this table, you can see the chef is, plating some things and bringing out more food. And
Oh, dog follows that guy.
he says,
Burger Master, there's a man in there, or an elephant, who was bitten by a vampire. I'll need you to prepare the usual.
and the Burger Master says, I can do that. And he goes into the kitchen.
Dog also goes into the kitchen.
Dog disappears. Game over.
Oh, no.
Just like Dad did.
The dog follows him into this very dark room, and then a light slowly comes to, and he finds himself in a cart with some other men, and they're traveling down a road.
You've been asleep for a while.
How did you know what he says? Get out of my mind.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Yeah. Hey, you're finally awake.
So, you guys are free to eat. I think that Todd is going to just sit down at the end of the table and start making himself a burger.
I'm going to copy his actions because I don't think Carrie's ever had a burger before. Being a pumpkin.
See if I can boost.
Hazelnut will just like get a bun, a piece of lettuce, and a tomato, and just like sit and just very eat.
So, where are you all from?
A mountain monastery. I totally not forget the name of.
I'm not really sure, but I hang out with these folks sometimes.
Oh, I just remembered something. Ding, 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 ding. I need to pull up the inventory. So, just quick refresher. What happened? We have Robin, you have 3 plants that were given to you, and you also have that ring that was given to you. And the sailor captain left at the door. He gave you the ring that I didn't record this in the actual episode. We did it after the fact because I forgot. But he gave you a ring for your payment that you'd given him because you were so generous. And then he actually left. So you guys are going to have to find your own ship home. But since you won't be, there's enough sailors here, you'll be able to do that. So he's gone.
You sailed here?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
From where?
Torrington?
Torrington. I've heard about that place. I've dreamt of going there.
It's quite lovely, especially this time of year. You might want to check it out.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And he starts asking you almost a weird amount of questions about this place. Like down to like, what's it like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What are people like? What are the colors like? What do they eat there? Like,
Can you just fix our friend, please?
Burgermaster's working on the remedy. But tell me more about Torrington.
and he seems so whimsical about this whole thing. He's just like listening to every word you say about this place.
Are you a vampire that can't leave here?
That's very rude. You can't just ask people if they're vampires or not.
Oh, that's rude. Okay.
You have to be kind to vampires.
I'm sorry. I'm not great with social skills. I'm still learning.
There are some who are evil at heart, but deep down, a lot of vampires are really good people who just can't control their thirst. I would know. I am one.
Oh, big surprise. Oh, God.
Oh man. Who knew?
Dun, dun,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
dun.
oblivious to etiquette and social expectations. Hashtag monk life.
I'm sorry that I ask you all these questions, but I'm caged here. I cannot leave the island.
Why
You're-
can't you leave?
You're my only source of information from the outside. Oh, I was cursed, you know. I wasn't always a vampire like this. Sorry, I chose to do this voice long term, and I regret it deeply. Every fiber of my being hates what I've become.
Oh my god.
Also, same.
Totally same.
He explains to you that he
Nice.
Like, you're the day in his voice?
I hate me.
I wasn't always this way. I was cursed by some sort of devil.
Can I check to make sure his collar's not too tight? That's restricting his voice box.
You know what? Why don't you check him out? Why don't you do a medicine check?
Where did it go? I was in there. Ooh. Actually, now I rolled good. 22.
He's a vampire.
You
Oh shit!
you walk over and you kind of very quickly unbutton the top button of his collar, and he goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, thank you. That feels much better."
I don't think you were cursed. I think you just did your collar tight.
I'd never really put those two together. I thought that I had some sort of cold or something that came and went, but it was my shirt the whole time.
Oh god, it's like the ghost and blood thing. God damn it.
Anyway, I was not always a vampire. No, I was cursed by a devil of some sort. My father, he was a vile man. He made a bargain.
He made a bargain.
God damn it, I fixed it.
He says, in exchange for granting him all the surrounding lands outside of Bavaria, my father promised that he would deliver me into the hands of the devil because he thought I was worthless.
Shitty father.
Pardon my language, but he was a piece of poop.
Oh my god. How old are you? That you can't wear.
The devil agreed, and he granted him all the outside lands by way of me. He gave me this power that allowed me to drain the life of those outside and gave me this kind of eternal life, this invulnerability, if you will. I was able to go around and conquer all the lands of the evil people, and my father suddenly became very proud of me. Apparently my worth is based on my merits. So when my father refused to give me up, the devil slayed him, and I was cursed to remain the way that he'd made me, and he imprisoned me here with the mists by surrounding the island, and I cannot leave every time. And believe me, I've tried. If I go into the mists, pop out the other side, I'm right back inside Torrington. I've tried it myself. I've tried it with other
Okay.
people. Other people can walk in and out. I always end up in the same place.
I see. You went to Torrington?
Did I say Torrington? God, I can't stop thinking about Torrington. I've dreamt of going there. I've dreamt of going anywhere besides here. Shut up. I've had a long day running cable, and that's not sexual, by the way.
Oh, look at the chat.
Haven't even finished my first beer.
Oh.
It's all right, sir. Keep talking. We didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you want more exposition? I can give you my whole backstory.
Yes, I'm always thirsty for lore.
Sure. Lore for days I have. So when I was cursed this way, I have this unique ability to conquer anything outside of Bavaria, except it's no good to me because I can't leave Bavaria. I'm stuck here and I'm eternally thirsty. This desire to take people's lives and their souls wander endlessly, always unsatisfied and never able to go to the afterlife when I'm done with them. It's not an ordinary vampirism. Yes, it's very strange, but I hunger constantly, which is why I'm giving you this burger service. I have to live vicariously through you, you know. I can't eat this stuff. It will make me rich.
Why are you eating one now, though?
I'm just making it. I'm not going to eat it.
Is it like some sort of coping mechanism, or is it more of a phantom limb situation?
Phantom what?
Well, never mind.
It's where a limb haunts you.
Got a lot of limbs that haunt me. Anyway,
I'm sure.
I first learned about it, and he gets kind of sober. He looks down at his hamburger and he says, "First learned about it with my sister-in-law."
Sister-in-law?
There doesn't happen to be a villager in town that has like exactly like her, is there?
You know that you mention it, the burgomaster's daughter.
God. God damn it.
She's sort of she's kind of jumpy. She's got some marks in the side of her neck.
Yes, that's the one. My sister-in-law was out gardening and she pricked herself on a rose bush and started bleeding, and I completely lost control, and it haunts me every day. My brother's never returned. He's never forgiven me for it.
That's rough, mate.
Yes. For all I know, her spirit wanders here and endlessly and aimlessly, and there's nothing I can do about it. So that is why I'm so distant. I shut myself up in this castle and keep my distance from others, and I can't eat anything, but I'm always hungry, and that's my life. Welcome to the curse of Todd.
You're definitely keeping far away from
All right,
Burgomaster's
now that
daughter,
we've
right?
got that lore out of the way, you guys want a mission?
Sure. This involves the burgomaster's daughter, does it?
No.
Oh, good.
We don't support violence against women in this party.
Feel a country song coming on.
Oh, no.
Have you guys ever been to West Virginia?
Don't.
No.
Country roads.
I've only heard tales about it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I need to know, for your friend in that room, what bit him?
We don't know really. He just came in and he was he was just bleeding, and we knew he got bit by something, but from what we could tell, it just looked like a vampire.
So it's your best guess. Based on what I saw, I would tend to agree with you. my concern is that he will only be bitten again. I don't know what is going on in Torrington, that there would be vampires there, but this
Well,
is
we
my
killed 'em
experience.
once.
You have a vampire, you have 2, you have 3, and they breed like rabbits. Not, of course, real breeding, but they spread their virus.
Oh, at least it's not like bees. That's good.
I'm just concerned that, yes, we can heal him for the time being. We can give him a sort of immunity to this vampiric turning. But it will only last for 3 years at most, if he's lucky. And what then, if the place is swarming?
Right?
Pardon?
It will wake him up, right?
Oh, he'll be quite all right. Just that it won't solve the problem at hand.
Well, when he wakes up, we always ask him what bit him. See if you see what bit him.
Intriguing, of course. That makes sense. We'll give him a hamburger as well. That'll be a good test of whether the potion is working or not.
You might want more than one burger.
Here's my thought.
Do go on.
I have a way of seeing things in people, and my best guess, based on my intuition, is that you guys have seen some adventures from time to time. You were brave enough to sail across the seas to bring your friend to me. Am I incorrect?
No, you're correct.
You're correct.
Most of the people of Bavaria live their lives, do their hobbies. They sew, they knit, they stitch, they work, they cook, they do things that ordinary people do. It's very rare that I come across brave adventurers. If you would be able to get me out of Bavaria and also grant me the ability to return to my normal form, I have a way that I could rid your place of vampires. But I can't do it without you.
We're not gonna not go back home.
Here's what it would require. There's a place just outside of Bavaria, one of the lands I conquered, which are now filled with ghosts. My father wanted it, but he didn't realize how he would get it. Such is the way of dealing with devils. But I have to deal once more with this one. He can only be summoned by 3 witches that live in the crooked windmill. Have you ever dealt with witches?
It will be a first for me.
I'm a sorcerer. Does that count?
Intriguing. So maybe you would have some familiarity with them?
I've been called a witch before, but I don't think I'm quite called that.
Same.
Have you ever been called a witch with a bee?
Sorry?
Whoa.
The crooked windmill.
I don't know.
Summon bees.
I love bees.
I take care of bees.
Good. Bees need to be taken care of. They're such sweethearts.
I'm gonna offer Hazelnut my flask. It's homemade mead from the bees from the
Yes,
monastery.
absolutely. She takes it and
Excellent.
pounds half of it.
I want to pause real quick and just find out what is going on with Dog right now.
Yeah,
The question that everyone is dying for the answer.
kind of, yeah.
So Dog, oh my God. Dog followed the burger master into the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what Dog is definitely doing is like sitting nearby while Burger Master is preparing whatever Burger Master is preparing. And then like every time he like walks away from the counter to go like get something else in the kitchen, Dog stealthily grabs what he has in the counter.
Okay, so You guys are in this dining room talking to Todd, and he says, "Sure is taking Burgermaster quite a long time to make this concoction." "Burgermaster, is everything all right?" And you hear, "Oh yes, everything is going okay, except I can't seem to remember where I placed all my ingredients. I keep losing them."
Can I make an intelligence check to see if I can guess that dog is doing it?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Hey.
You have no idea.
What?
You definitely know it's dog.
She just kind of goes, "Dog, come here, please."
So
Just set the dog.
it's at this point, dog is torn. On one hand, there is food in kitchen. On the other hand, dog is being summoned. Dog will
please
go. Dog will leave kitchen.
Dog would know that there's also food in dining room.
Oh, that's true. Dog leaves kitchen, goes to dining room.
What a conundrum. Food or food?
Oh, and then he runs underneath the dining table and waits for stuff to drop.
I would speak dog a patty.
Bork. He eats it.
Hazelnut will start scritching him behind the ears if he allows it.
Yeah, he definitely does that dog leg wagging thing. It's good. It's good stuff. It's good quality dog stuff, I promise.
You're such a good boy.
Bork.
Oh, I found my ingredients. They're here on the counter.
Huh, weird.
All right, well, good. So it won't be too long now. Are you good
Hopefully.
problem solvers? I would assume you are if you're adventurers. Because here's...
Well,
Yes?
problem solving, it takes on a different meaning when you're dealing with people like us.
Bork.
Yeah.
But I'd say we're quite good at what we do. At least most of us. No, that's a lie. I think all of us are good at it in our own special way.
Bork.
Here's the... So... Sphinicus... Sphiniscus... What are you again?
I'm a Kenku penguin.
Okay.
Oh.
I've just been pecking away at buns this whole time.
Alright, I'm dealing with a dog and a
All
penguin.
the buns now have holes.
They're more like torn to shreds as he tries to eat them.
I just wanted to make a bunhole joke.
I love you guys.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm tearing up those buns.
So
I love
he-
you too, Daddy.
I don't love you anymore.
It's not Tim.
Here's our conundrum. Only the witches of the Crooked Windmill can summon this devil, but I don't know how you're going to get them to do it. They're stubborn broads, and they don't want much to do with me, that's for sure. So, but if you can get them to summon the devil, then conundrum number 2 appears, and it's he has a medallion. It's the only thing that I can use to turn me back to myself that releases this curse, and I don't know how you're going to get it from him.
So is it gonna make you like a tall, handsome man?
No,
Sure, this is no indicator of physical beauty, alright?
this is always how.
Just curious.
This is my normal form.
Woof.
Maybe a bit more color in my cheeks. Anyway. Putting aside this heightism,
It's always like this, don't worry.
conundrum number 3 is somehow you've got to get me out of these mists without the curse being released, because my only way of solving your vampire problem is to do it in this form, after which I will take the serum. But you'll have to get me to Torrington somehow. You think you can do this?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
All right.
Dog is gonna grab onto his pant leg and begin like pulling him, like let's go.
I suggest you eat and, take some of these burgers with you because you've got your work cut out for you. I will be here with your friend, and by the time you return, should you return, he will be well again. I guarantee you.
I have a question.
What is that?
I have that magic bag.
A magic...
It's kind of like the bag of holding.
Oh, bag. I thought you said bat.
Could I possibly put him inside the bag?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Okay.
So,
That's-
if you guys are going to do this, he's going to draw you out a map of where you need to go. And this is, it's not connected, but it's just a little bit of it's like a river-sized, like, the ocean. It's technically the ocean. It's part of the ocean, but it kind of cuts between this island and separate. It's like a lot of little islands like Hawaii or Japan or something. So you just have to cross on a little boat, and then you'll get to this ghost land, and he gives you directions to the crooked windmill.
Dog studies the map.
Is there anything you guys need to do before you take on this quest?
I
No.
don't think so.
Okay. Why don't you guys roll constitutions as you travel through the mists?
Is it saving or a check?
Save. What?
14.
3.
Apparently it didn't matter. It was a +2 anyways, no matter what.
17.
Dog has 7.
Uh-oh.
Guys, hazelnut is not strong enough to carry all of you guys out of the mist.
And it's a Constitution save. Where'd my paper go? Oh, I have a +3. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I have a +3. 19. I forgot that I gave her a higher Constitution because she does drugs.
Nice.
Sorry, what was Aubrey's?
17.
What was Eric's?
3.
Oofa
Oh,
doofa.
no.
Everybody who got below a 10, I think that was Sphiniscus and Dog.
Work.
You get about 3/4 of the way through this mist before you pass out, and why don't you guys roll a dex save real quick?
Nice. 17.
Nice.
14.
Yeah, you guys both are able to kind of sense it. Like your vision starts to tunnel and everything starts to get you're losing your peripherals and everything. So you guys kind of get down, hunker down a little bit before you collapse completely, and you don't smash your head or anything like that. But you guys are out, and
Dog's already really low to the ground, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it couldn't have hurt that much.
he does
So
he
it's
does
just
that.
Like, all right.
He does.
I'ma
He
curl
starts
up
to
in
do
a ball.
that doggy army crawl.
Yes.
Love it. That's adorable.
You guys can all see them collapse.
I will carry the dog.
Okay.
He kicks his one leg while he sleeps.
Oh,
I love him.
You guys manage to get them out of the mists, and they start to come to. And before you can see the beach, and then across is the opposite shore. And there's kind of just a small SMOL rowboat. It's pretty rickety too.
Did you say beach?
Yeah.
Dog sprints from Robin's arms
You're passed
into
out.
sand.
Yeah, you're passed
I
out.
thought I woke up.
You're waking up.
Oh, okay. Well, then the
Okay.
moment Dog is aware that there is a beach, Dog is rushing to sand and water.
It was all he needed to wake up. Yeah, Dog, why don't you roll a perception real quick?
That's 12.
You smell something really interesting. And it
What?
seems like if you dig in this certain spot, you might uncover something incredible.
All right, 3 guesses what Dog is doing.
Pooping.
Oh, you nailed it. Dog's got to dig. It's happening right here, right now.
Do a slide
Do
of
it.
do a slide of paw.
4.
It takes you actually quite a while because this isn't very this is kind of dirty sand. It's not very deep. It's pretty far up the beach, and you get to this hard, coarse dirt, and you've got to really go for it. But when you get to the bottom, you find. Let me just roll a d20 here. You find a great big corpse of some kind of fish.
Oh no.
And
No, dog.
Dog,
Dog.
no.
it
Dog.
Nice.
it
Dog.
smells like they're down at the rowboat, a rowboat across the beach from you, and they can already smell it on the wind.
Dog flips that fish out of the hole into the air, and when it lands on the ground, he just flops onto it. And rolls
No. God damn it.
Prestidigitation.
It is all over you.
I do
it.
not.
This is great.
We are fleeing that thing into the ocean.
That thing is a dog, damn it.
Oh,
Dog.
not dog. I mean, we can do that too.
Someone summon water, like create water. On
Now-
the dog.
I'm just going to throw this out there. You guys can definitely find a way to clean him up, or you can just let him be.
Wow, those are the 2 options. You're right.
I'm not saying which one you should choose. I'm just saying maybe they both have benefits.
Oh fuck.
Let's let him be. Animals get dirty, and that's kind of how they work.
I mean, it's
Pork.
not too bad to smell. Yet.
It is, though.
She's trying to tell herself otherwise.
Hello, Dan. So, if you guys
I
get
was so confused because I was not looking at the same page.
Dan's here, everybody.
I did.
I think that this rowboat's big enough for like 3 people, so you may have to make a couple treks across this channel.
Dog is fine standing on someone.
I can swim.
Do we know how long it would take to get to the other side?
In the boat.
Yeah.
If you row pretty vigorously, you could get there in like 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay, because a breathing creature can survive in the bag for 10 minutes, so I'll have to give them air again. So I'm wondering if maybe we could put someone inside the bag up to 20 pounds and just row vigorously over.
Interesting.
I'll just swim next to the boat.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Does the mist technically do like a sleep effect?
It's like a muscle relaxer that you end up going into a permanent coma, so similar.
Okay. No, I was just wondering because my character is immune to sleep, and I just saw it on her sheet, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's different than Well,
Hmm.
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 Hmm?
What?
I mean, if you want to work it out to where I'm not immune to it, that's totally fine. I don't care. I was just checking.
Why don't you give me a high or low?
High. Because it's Zezia and she's probably high. 420.
57. Yeah, you're immune to it.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Hazelnut will wild shape into a crocodile with her hat on and Marlin on her back and
Oh my
swim.
god. I
great.
love
Okay, so we got like
Super
1,
nice.
2, 3 swimmers.
Oh, wait. I would love for Dog to ride on the penguin that's swimming across. That's also great.
Now, dog, if you jump in the water, you will wash off that fishiness.
Dog likes that fishiness. Maybe Dog stay in boat.
Hazelnut is going to be swimming pretty close to the surface, so if he wants to try and like balance on her back, he can.
Dog's going in the boat.
All right. So
Fine, I see how it is.
I'm gonna roll an animal handling to pet stink dog.
Oh, you auto succeed. Don't worry about it.
Awesome.
Well, that's okay because I rolled a 17 and I have a +6. It's a super good pet.
Nice. Dog loves it. Bork, bork.
Okay, so 3 in the boat and 2 are swimming. You guys get across this thing, and it's foggy on the other side, but it's not this swirling kind of mist. It's just normal, everyday fog, and all the plants and the trees are dead. This whole place just feels dead. The earth is cracked. The ground is cold and hard, and as you guys enter into these woods, you kind of, because of the fog, any of the light of day starts to get dim. It's not black, but it's harder to see. It's almost like when it's getting dusk and you're trying to drive and everybody's lights are blinding your eyes and you can't make out sky from land. That's about the level that it is. And why don't you guys roll perception checks?
Ooh.
I don't have dark vision.
Am I perceiving a social gathering?
If you have dark vision, then you're only impeded by the fog, not the dim light.
I rolled a 10.
My question is legit.
Oh.
Like, are we perceiving to find a social gathering? I get advantage.
You guys are looking for this crooked windmill with 3 witches, so technically, I would say yes.
Me and dog, you can't see anything. The spell is blacking me.
Did you say at disadvantage or no?
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it's just a hard roll is all.
Oh, okay. Then 23.
I got a really stupid high number.
Oh, wow. Kim got a 17.
Nice.
Mine's a 27.
Jeez.
I rolled a 19. I have +8.
All right. You guys are going along, and everybody above a 20 happened to just glance over to the right, and you actually see the motion of this 4 tine thing spinning around in the distance, but it's hard to make out because it's so foggy and dark. So everybody above 20 sees this, and I'll let you decide what you're going to do.
I'm going to look around and see if there are any, like, geographical features that I could memorize. Just so we can find our way back. And then point it out to everyone.
Why don't you give me another high or low?
Hi, duh.
That's the spirit.
Well, so I've been reading my features because I never look at my character sheet for any reason except for, like, to look at my saves and my rolls. And one of the things is can find food and remember geographical features. Like, so I'm asking dumb questions.
If you guys were to relocate, I wouldn't be opposed to letting you roll again, but as of right now, there's nothing that stands out to you. It all looks generic.
Okay, can I draw something in the sand?
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll draw a big penis in the sand, put a stick, like, in the sand so the stick is sticking up.
Dog takes
And
the
I'll
stick.
tie So I'm not going to tie a ribbon on the stick. I'll tie a ribbon on the damn dog.
It's when the dog is such a handicap, but everybody still loves them anyway.
That's Dog.
That's dog. It's the dog show. Dog is like Mr. Pickles.
Do a quick performance check.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 14.
Yeah.
I only rolled a 6.
Stink bug.
Damn it, dog.
Your penis only looks slightly better than episode 19 with Cyrus's mushroom drawing of Little Realms.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Okay. That's great. It's perfect.
Hazelnut goes, oh, that's an interesting drawing.
Zezzy is going to look up and say, it's a marker. If we see it again when we come back, we know we're going the right way.
Nice. I didn't know markers could look like that.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. Usually they do a stick with a sewing tied to it.
Yeah, it's pretty mushroomy. So who rolled? Oh, Zezia, you rolled so high. Zezia, you notice there's a figure next to that silhouette of the windmill, and is walking around.
Hello?
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Let me just roll real quick.
Why are you yelling hello?
It keeps wandering around. Doesn't seem to have heard you through the fog.
Oh, it's in the fog. Okay.
Excuse me.
Nope. Still wandering around.
Hello?
So
Nope, still
I'm gonna-
wandering.
Oh god.
These old witches are hard of hearing.
I shout hello louder.
Okay, I'll give her advantage.
Do crocodiles roar or anything?
Yeah, you see her
Yes.
silhouette stop, and then it kind of it based on what you can tell from the silhouette, it looks like it's facing you and kind of has its head tilted into the air.
Hazelnut, why are we yelling hello?
There's a person over there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, look. And I point at it.
Do I see it?
Yeah, you see it now that she pointed
Okay.
it out.
Oh, hey, look, there is.
Dog
Actually,
runs off in the direction of the point.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no! Wait, no, retcon. I forgot. She's still a crocodile. She can't talk.
So I'm
His
gonna
head.
cast light on Dog's stick. So now
Okay.
Dog has a big beaming stick and he's running through the fog.
Yes, this pleases Dog.
Dog.
Bork.
Why don't you roll a dex save?
Ooh.
I've been great at those so far. Oh, nat 1, you say? Wow.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Please don't hurt dog. I love dog.
Brian, I swear to God, you hurt dog.
In the light of this stick, you guys see the silhouette of dog disappearing into the fog towards this character over by the windmill. And suddenly, you hear this rumbling. It sounds like the crumble of dirt, and suddenly these black octopus-looking tentacles come up out of the ground and wrap around dog and drag him down under.
No!
Bork.
Take off running towards the dog one.
I go right over
When
the
you-
side wall.
When you see the dog disappear and you are pausing trying to take in what just happened, you notice the silhouette with her arms in the air.
I'm gonna cast lightning bolt on her.
Okay.
Can
need someone to-
Piss me off. Don't hurt my dog friend.
Can I cast mold earth and like use it to just like push him out of the ground?
You can certainly try.
So it's a 100-foot line, and she gets a deck save. I don't remember what the deck save is. I think it's my spell DC, maybe. So 15. Please roll bad.
That is a 3.
Okay, good. I need 8d6s. I love this spell.
I just sprint and then like I just sprint and then use my mold earth cantrip and just like excavate the ground where he got pulled under.
Okay.
So
Now, is that like the ground is like spewing upward? Is it opening up outward, or how's that work?
It's like it's like it's the earth on top of him just moves, so it's just like an excavation.
Like you're digging downward? Okay.
34.
Fuck.
It's 8d6.
I think that you guys, this lady has her hands in the air, and suddenly, do you shoot this lightning bolt out from you, or does it come from the sky, or what?
It's a 100-foot line.
Oh.
So I guess it shoots out from me.
yeah, I was hoping it'd be coming from the sky.
Yeah, and it's got this zigzagginess to it, and I think it's going to end up like a Street Fighter 2 fireball or whatever, where you suddenly see her skeleton flashing, and her hair stands up.
So when I hit her with it, I'm just gonna be like, "You really shouldn't have attacked our dog."
She topples over to the ground, and Hazelnut, when you do this excavation, you see this kind of this black ooze deep down underneath. It's kind of like a boiling lava looking thing, but it's all black.
Didn't we need her to summon the devil?
Well, she shouldn't have attacked our dog.
You guys are such good diplomats.
Bork.
We're
I
still
mean-
in a Dungeons and Dragons guy.
To me, I think it's anti-diplomatic to attack an approaching dog.
She doesn't.
It's
have-
just a
she
fucking
doesn't.
dog.
She doesn't give a fuck. She just sees someone coming and zaps them. She doesn't know you guys want her to summon a devil.
So this ooze stuff, is it like, do I like traces of dog in the ooze, or
It's just like a bubbling puddle of blackness. That's about all you see down there.
It's racist.
It's almost like it was an aquifer or something. Like it's just flowing underneath the ground.
I'm gonna do the thing and just reach in.
Yeah, so you're gonna end up about halfway between where you guys were standing and where this witch was, where the dog got pulled under. So if you walk over there, you got to kind of go down a little ways. So why don't you do a... How steep did you dig? Did you just dig straight down, or did you give it kind of a bevel, like a shoreline going down to this blackness?
Yeah, I did. It's about like it's just like a slope into like a well, like the well from Coraline, but with a small, but with a bevel around it.
Okay. You're just going to stick your bare hand in there?
Yep.
Oh, you turned into a bear for this? That's awesome.
Nice.
She's got a subclass in Druid. Why don't you roll a con check, or con save?
Okay, that's not great. Hang on. That's an 8. 8.
I think that when you stick your hand in here, it is colder than anything you've ever felt before. You've probably at some point stuck your hand in ice water or like, winter water, and it is far, far worse than this. It's almost like it doesn't just sting, it almost makes you feel nauseated. And it swishes
Okay.
around. It's kind of it's not like water. It swishes around kind of goopily, like a ink or something. But you don't find any trace of anything. It's just sticking your hand in goop. You're not going to be able to search for long though before you just start to feel so sick.
Yeah, she like yanks out her hand and just like wipes it off on her clothes, and she's like, I can't find him. At least I just reached in, but he wasn't in there.
I guarantee you this stuff is going to stain.
I'm gonna go up to where the
Yeah.
old woman was.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wild shape into dog and just walk behind Hazelnut and go, dog?
as you are approaching this person on the ground, I'm gonna cut scenes real quick. Dog, you find yourself falling through this goop,
Okay.
and you're surrounded by this black, freezing cold emptiness, and then suddenly, the next thing you know, you are falling through the air, and you hit what you presume to be the floor. It feels like stone, and if you kind of paw the group out of your eyes, you can see a square room. And it's got a window and a chair and a table.
Oh, okay. So yeah, dog will slowly stand up after having been slammed into the floor. He'll shake off his fur to get all the goop off, and then it's just searching the room, smelling around, checking the table.
It's not
Seeing
all
what-
gonna come off. It's almost like people who have frosted tips, but you've got like goopy tips.
Oh well, luckily I'm a dog, so I don't care that much. So
When you turn around, you do see a door there, a big bolted door.
fuck the door.
The window is like human height, and it's kind of small, almost like those towers where you shoot arrows out of them.
So if there's like absolutely nothing really to find outside of the door and the window in this room, dog will go up to the door, sit down, and like scratch at it for a little bit, and then bark, and then scratch at it for a little bit more, and then he probably like paces around the room for a while, and then goes back to the door and scratches at it, and eventually, if this goes on long enough, he'll attempt to fling himself out the window.
There's no way you'll fit. It's just a tiny rectangular slat like you'd have for archers. I assume your
I
perception
see.
is really good.
That's a bold assumption, Brian.
You're a dog. How is that bold?
I just Googled dog stats, and I'm using the first thing that popped up. I can roll perception if you want. If it has to do with hearing or smell, I get advantage.
There you go. Why don't you do hearing?
Great. So that is a 19.
You hear the muffled voices from below the floor. Of one sounds like a female says, and the other says, and like you don't understand the language, so that's kind of what it sounds like to you.
Oh, this freaks dog out. The dog will start clawing at the floor.
Yeah, so that's dog.
That's
Zezia,
dog.
Zezia, you are approaching this lady, and the closer you get to her in the fog, the more that you can see she's getting darker and darker, and you kind of see that she seems to be turning into this goop that was in the pit.
Oh no.
Is it alive?
I'm gonna be up there with Zezia. Oh, you poke it.
Does it have any sentience?
The goop?
Yes.
You can try talking to it.
Brian, the witch.
Check the goop's pulse.
That's a check.
If you want to.
Sure. Why am I rolling so badly today? 13.
The longer you stare at it, the more that you think that this is not normal. This is not these guys. There's something weird about these ladies. So this it starts to, puddle down onto the ground, and then it starts forming into these tentacle things, and then it starts slithering like snakes around you.
Oh no. Zezia. I don't think we should be in it.
Can I try to get out of it?
Yeah. I don't think you need to roll for it. I think you can.
Just back away slowly.
Yeah, just kind of hop
Okay.
over it. But it's gonna start following you as you back away.
I'll firebolt it.
Okay.
Roll to hit.
Oh shit, I have an alchemy drug.
Oh shit, I got a nat 20 to fucking firebolt a stupid puddle of ooze.
Why don't all you bystanders roll perception while she's doing this?
This is dumb. I'm mad I wasted my nat 20 on a puddle of old lady ooze.
If you want, I'll let you save your nat 20 for your next roll and call this a coup de grace because it's literally just there on the ground in front of you. Not actual coup de grace. You don't get critical on it, but you get auto hit.
Okay.
Apparently I carried
10
this
damage.
alchemy drug.
I got a 9 and a 1.
When you
Excellent.
shoot this thing with firebolt, it starts to bubble and it kind of starts to evaporate into the air. And then you see the fog gets mixed up with this dark fog, and it's like a billow of smoke as it spirals around, and then it starts to form kind of a face of a haggard old woman, and it says, "Why do you come here?"
Well, we came here to ask you a question, but you attacked our dog, so now we're mad.
Your dog was attacking me.
No, he was
No.
excited and he had a glowing stick. He wanted to show it to you.
He's a very good
Have
dog.
you ever had a dog before?
Probably not.
I hate dogs.
Well, the dog wasn't really. He was trying his best. All right, you didn't have to. You didn't have to get him underground. What the hell did you do? What did you do to him? He's just gone now.
They're
You would be a
always
cat
so happy.
Well, yeah, the dogs. What do you think they have to be sad about?
Everybody who rolled above a 10, you can see that there are two other faces peering out the first floor window of this windmill. The windmill's pretty big. It's probably like 30, 40 feet tall just to the top, and then the spinning parts are even higher above that. But it is kind of crooked. It like goes up halfway, and then it kind of tilts over to the side, almost leaning Tower Pisa style. And it's almost a miracle that it's staying in place, not falling over.
So, can I create my own illusion of a smoky face, and it's my face?
Yes.
And then I just want to say, we came here to ask you a question.
Yes. Okay, so your face appears right in front of her, and then she stops and she stares at you, and she goes, "I like you." And then this stuff swirls down and starts to form the body of a fat old lady with kind of a staff in her hands, and she goes, "What did you come to talk to us about?"
So, long story short, we need Todd's help, but he doesn't want to help us.
Todd? The only thing I hate worse than dogs is Todd Von Zarovich.
What, did he steal you up for a date or something?
Probably.
I want nothing to do with this. Please go on your way.
No.
Is this going to be one of those things where we have to do something for you, so you do something for us, so he does something for us?
You would be willing to do something for us?
I hate King Quest so much. God damn it.
If it will make you help us, please just tell me what it is.
She strokes her warty old chin, and she thinks...
I thought you were going to say beard.
That would be surprising.
She pulls at the hair growing out of her mole, and she says,
Ew. Oh.
Mole, mole, mole.
"I want one of your handsome gentlemen to kiss me."
Well,
Do we have a handsome gentleman in the group?
Can I cast suggestion on the slad and have him go kiss her?
No, you guys, she's staring over at Cyrus.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a Cyrus.
Cyrus
Okay,
is
that's a
always
thing.
with us.
That sounds ominous as hell.
So weird.
I hate it. But we did save his life, so there's that.
I
Cyrus.
want him to kiss me.
Cyrus, just do it. Just get it over with.
Cyrus, please.
Please, Cyrus.
Yeah, I think that Cyrus is gonna be pretty weirded out by this whole thing. But it's for the good of the party.
Come on, dude, just make out with Brian. Let's go.
It's so simple.
Zezia steps aside and motions her arm hello. Hurry
It's
up.
only weird if you make it weird. Let's go.
It's
Just
not
fulfill
like she's
Brian's
asking you to
fantasy,
look her in the
come on.
eye as you finish.
Brian's true fantasy.
She's gonna reach out her knobbly old hand and say, "Do we have a deal?" Is he going to kiss me?
Well, I sure hope so.
So do.
She's making
Right?
exaggerated
We're
kissy
not
lips.
like this anymore.
Let me somebody give me high or low.
Always
Hi.
good high.
90 fucking 1. She goes over to him, and he kind of closes his eyes and sticks his lips out very reluctantly, and she leans in, and just for the briefest second, there's a kind of like a ping, and you see these hearts flow up above her head like The Sims or something. And she goes,
Oh my God.
she spins around and she goes,
Wow.
I haven't felt these feelings in 10,000 years.
Congrats, Cyrus. Kiss the old hag.
Now, what can I do for you?
We need you to. Is it a double or a B double?
Oh, she'll know who you're talking about.
Okay, we need you to summon a double.
I should have figured Todd would be up to his old. All right. Let me go talk
Yeah,
to
he
my
definitely
sister.
stood you up for a date, didn't he?
She's gonna kind of wobble into the windmill, and you see the faces disappear from the windows as you hear these muffled voices. Dog, you hear a third voice appear down below you.
Bork?
You still can't understand what they're saying, obviously, but
Bork.
yeah.
Dog continues scratching at the floor.
I think everybody should, in the quiet of this time while they're in there talking, everybody should roll perception real quick. Not Dog. Everybody outside.
Oh,
Oh,
5. Again.
18.
13.
24.
Jeez.
That's good. Dice deal.
18 and higher, you guys hear the very faintly. You might hear some scritchums, but then you hear kind of a bark come from the top of the tower.
It's more like a Bork, but, phrase it however you want. That's fine. You can play my character, I guess.
Can it be Boof also?
Once in a while.
Boof.
No boofing allowed.
Not allowed.
Sven will walk over to the door in his dog form, except he's still like waddling as a dog. He hasn't quite figured out 4 legs yet.
Aww.
And he kind of looks up to the top where the sound is going and goes, dog, 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 dog.
I expect my dog.
Dog definitely hears this.
Bork? Bork, 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 bork.
Dog, dog, dog.
Bork,
And
bork.
I go over to Zezia and I try to tap her shoulder and then realize I'm too short, so I just tap her on the knees.
I
And
lay
I-
down.
Dog, 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 dog.
Yes, you're a dog.
Hey, I shake my head and kind of point up to the tower with my nose and go, dog, 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 dog.
Oh, the dog is in the tower?
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying not to metagame, but
I'm right. Just kind of always going dog, the dog, dog, dog.
No, it's
Dog,
perfect.
the dog, dog, dog.
Dog, 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 dog.
That's good storytelling that you understand the dog. I like that. The door of this windmill swings open, and the witches, all 3 of them, come out, and they say, "We agree to your terms if you'll let the other 2 of us kiss that gentleman."
God damn it.
Can you just do that? Can we get the dog, please?
Yeah.
We miss him a lot.
Yeah.
All right. It has to be a kiss and a hug.
Oh, come on.
Kiss and a
Poor man
handshake.
suffered enough.
A tussle of the hair.
Okay, now you're asking way too much. For a dog and to summon a double.
We could do it by force, but it doesn't feel as nice.
I hope not.
All right. 1 stroke of the chin. You can have your dog back.
Thank God you said chin.
Cyrus, what do you think?
Let me see if he rolls high. Damn, 95.
Yeet.
He nods, and so they
He
both go.
better yeet himself at this old lady.
They both go over, and with their knobby hands and their long spindly fingers, they give him this kind of like a fucking like a gesture of like
I try not to gag.
this romantic like down the side of his face and then off the end of his chin, and they stare into his eyes creepily, and then they both shiver and they say, "Your dog is up at the top of the tower. We will be over here performing the ritual."
Kyrene is trying not to throw up after that. And he's gonna make her way inside the tower to go get dog.
When you go inside of this tower, it's much bigger on the inside than the outside, just like Doctor Who. And you see like a quaint little home, except everything is like, they've got potted plants and stuff, but they're all dead. And
Oh.
so there's a staircase that spirals up, and you can see the kind of trap-doory thing. Oh, no, I said it was a normal door. It's just a normal door.
It's not a door.
Zezia is gonna reach in her pocket and pull out her button of peyote and break off a piece and eat it.
I'm gonna go up the stairs.
Yeah, you hear a bork and then the scritchums, and then you open the door. It only locks from the outside, but there's a key in the lock, and you can open it up.
Is it hard for me to open the door because I'm so short?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's good.
Dog, this door opens, and there's Kyrene on the other side.
Okay, so just for a frame of reference, Dog has been stuck in this room without his friends for years. Okay, he hasn't seen these people in. He thought they were dead. Like, he thought this was it. So the moment Kyrene opens that door, Dog launches himself out.
I try to
Full-blown
brace.
tackle, face licks, the 9 yards.
How tall are you,
buddy.
Kyrene?
I am 3'3".
Oofa doofa. You better roll a dex save.
Oh, you mean the thing I'm proficient in? It's not one, but I can reroll that. 12.
Okay, this dog jumps on you, and you're right at the edge of this staircase, teetering, and you manage to take about 2 or 3 steps down so that he's just kind of balanced on your shoulders. And fortunately, you guys don't go toppling down to your doom.
I give him a big hug.
Yes. Dog is
And all the
loving it.
pets. I am
Dog.
I don't.
Dog could stay like this forever.
Kyrene, he smells awful.
I have an alchemy jug. And I can do 8 gallons of fresh water or 12 gallons of sea salt water.
It's up
I
to
think I'll do fresh water.
you. You run the risk of You run the risk of him not smelling so bad if you clean him.
Fuck, you're right. I really.
If you make him smell better, he might not smell bad.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
I mean, I could just cover in mayonnaise if I really want to. It's 2 gallons. Or wine. I got plenty of choices here.
Dog finds this agreeable.
You would.
Pork.
Everybody that's downstairs, you guys see light coming from where these witches are, and you look over, and there's a glow emanating from the ground inside their little triangle that they've formed. And then it starts to flicker and flash brighter and brighter, and you see the trees and everything casting vibrant shadows outward from it as this kind of a plume of smoke that's red and billowing above this light starts to swirl and spiral, just like you saw before with the spooky face, until finally it kind of does a Jafar sort of thing where it goes up and then it starts to form into a body in the middle, and out comes this hideous looking red monstrosity. He's not very typical like most devils. He's kind of got these long willowy strands hanging off of him, almost like a swamp monster. and he's got this huge maw with these spiky teeth, and he's got these glowing yellow eyes. And as he starts to descend to the earth, I think that's where we'll call our session.
I was gonna say, can I give dog a little bit of honey?
You know what? We're gonna pause just for a second before we end, and
Pause.
you can give your dog some honey.
Okay.
I
But
was
only
going to
a
ask
teaspoon,
you.
apparently.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Dog, just tell us what you do with this honey.
Sounds dirty.
Uh,
Brian, what are you insinuating about our poor dog?
Dog.
yeah.
The fuck?
Describe in detail what you do with this honey.
Okay,
It's for the
I
fans.
will, but I'll describe it in dog. So bork, 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 woof.
I
bork.
thought you were going to just lick your microphone. Just some spitty ASMR licking right now.
No, but I should have. You're right. God, I suck at this. I'm so bad at this.
But hey, just sitting, your breath will smell a lot better, apparently. 'Cause,
I beg
it's
you,
recommended-
please.
I'm really
Like my
sad that I waited
microphone?
so late in the episode to get Zezzy a high
No.
because I didn't get to see what it did.
The what did you peyote? You said
Yeah, buddy.
that's good. That means I have a week to study about what peyote is and what the effects are.
It's mescaline.
Oh, good. I'll be able to look
It's
up
a
what
spirit
mescaline
drink.
is.
Brian doesn't do many drugs.
I can tell you about IPAs.
Of course you could.
You already tried that once, Brian.
Honestly, peyote looks like any other cactus or succulent, so you could just fucking grow that shit in your house. No one's gonna know anything unless they know specifically what peyote looks like.
I totally didn't have to look up, can dogs have honey? Just to make sure I don't poison the
Yes,
dog.
they can.
If you accidentally poisoned dog, everyone is going to be furious at
I
you.
was like, okay, gotta double check.
We just almost killed a hag trying to get the dog back. Then just straight up kill him.
The little things that grow on the cactus that look like growths, those are the drug.
Oh my! All
Oh,
You can like harvest them off and they'll just grow back.
right, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bork.